Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Thomas, and welcome to my channel. I run a business called Mass Model Alternative School Services, and we do educational materials, products, books, audiobooks, courses, articles, videos, and what we do mainly is we specialize in Tree of Life. So you may know Tree of Life. This is the diagram right here. You may also know it as Kabbalah. It's the same diagram as Kabbalah, but it's a slightly different interpretation. If you want to know a little bit more about this, check out my video called Tree of Life, an Introduction. That's just about a 10-minute video. Just go through the very basics. You really don't have to know much about this to kind of get started. You just need to know a few little basics and go from there. But anyway, we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, abyss, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's a total of 12 different categories, 0 through 10 plus the abyss. And so what I've done to kind of clarify this is I'm putting together what I call the MASSTree, which is like another dimension of the Tree of Life. So whereas the Tree of Life goes into 12 different categories, the MASSTree goes one level deeper. So it's 12 by 12, 144 different categories, or what you would call fractal faculties. The 12 on the Tree of Life are different faculties of consciousness. And so I've broken it down into like fractal faculties, or stages of life. And you can click the link below if you would like me to send you a copy of our free guide to the 144 fractal faculties or stages of life, history, spirituality, and cosmology annotated. So click the link below. I'll send you out that free copy. Mass is recording a series of short videos on the Tree of Life to demonstrate its power. It's a delicate instrument that we can use to probe into seemingly anything related to consciousness. Okay, so let's get to today's question. How can the Tree of Life serve as an education outfitter? We can use the tree as an educational outfitter at every subject, at every level, all the way from classroom activities, materials, to lesson plans, to testing and performance, to classroom management, to designing a syllabus or designing a whole curriculum. All those things, as well as everything else in the universe, can be categorized by the tree. Now, I wouldn't recommend using it, for a kindergarten class or something like that. But once the students are at least in, middle school, you can use it. People might have some complaints about it because of the connotations that it has, but it is really just a diagram, and it's a technology just like anything else, can be used for good or evil or neutral, depending on the intention of the people that are using it. Anyway, we can categorize our research, our life experiences, and our curriculum on the tree. It's like the tree is a filing cabinet. So it's really an outfitter for the entire educational process. We can use the Tree of Life to map out a lecture, put it up on the board, put it up on the screen every day. Helps to use it explicitly with students. Students can learn to organize their notes and organize their thoughts with this structure in mind. It's a pretty gentle learning curve. You can really learn the tree at least up to functionality just in a couple days. And if you're using it regularly, um, it's got 12 spheres, but really the first four are really all you need to kind of conceptualize to get it going. The spheres get a little bit more abstract as you move up the tree. Down here at the bottom at 10, we're talking about the most. This is really our animal faculties, and these are kind of our normal human faculties at 9, 8, and 7. And then as we move up toward the tree, we move up higher and higher into more spiritual categories, more spiritual faculties. And then at 3, 2, and 1, these are really like our divine faculties. Omnipresence is the first sphere. Omniscience is the second sphere. And that's all knowing. And omnipresence, all present everywhere, eternally. And then the third sphere is omnipotence, all powerful. So those are, things that only the, highest initiates ever, open up that faculty fully. So you can really just use the bottom four spheres to kind of get started, and then you can gradually phase in the higher spheres as you move further along in the course. The primary thing really with the tree is to memorize the diagram and the simple correlations to the faculties of consciousness. So, it's really like the diagram is the most important thing. The more complex stages can, be deployed later. So I hope to use the tree in my educational business to generate a whole curriculum for our awakening world through crowdsourcing, like a replacement for a whole university, really, where all the different subjects and majors are on the tree, connected, but unlike in a normal university, they're not disjointed, they're connected. They are all tied together by the tree, so you can make connections between them, and you don't get into pigeonholing. A lot of the universities, every one that I've been to, the people in one department don't communicate with people in another department. They see themselves as being entirely different, and people just start learning more and more about less and less. And, it's not a holistic learning environment. But I think if you use the tree, you can get to that place. We can look at the ancient Latin curriculum, with the trivium and the quadrivium. That's the three minor subjects and the four major subjects. So the trivium was logic, grammar, and rhetoric. And those really, respectively, they really fit into the 8th, 9th, and 7th spheres. Grammar, you can also consider it at the 5th sphere, which is kind of like an analysis. But these all are categorized: logic at the 8th sphere, grammar 9th sphere, and rhetoric at 7th sphere. Although rhetoric, because the 7th sphere is normally a more of a right brain thing, and so it's more visual than verbal. But it also has to do with creativity and a flow. And so, rhetoric, a lot of times it would be kind of a 7th and 8th sphere thing. Also, the quadrivium, which is the major teachings in that curriculum, music, astronomy, geometry, and math, is really 3, 2, 1, and 0 on the tree. So these are ways, especially when you include the spiritual aspects of those subjects. So sacred music, astrology, sacred geometry, and numerology. These are all categorized on the tree. So an even more encompassing curriculum. Also, when you think of cosmology, that's really like a fourth sphere thing. And then when you get into the classroom, a lot of times you want to be doing performance or participatory activities, and these things fit here at the sixth sphere, like the free will faculty. It's really about facing our fears, doing things in real time where we don't really know how it's going to how it's going to end up, and so you have to step out into our fear in order to embrace this. So these are broad applications, but using the MASSTree, when you fractalize it into the 144, you can always get into greater and greater detail. I mean, if you want to fractalize it again, you could be 12 by 12 by 12, 1,728 different categories. You want to go to the next level, multiply by 12 more. You got 20,736 different categories. You can go further than that. So, that's somewhat unrealistic at this point. But right now, I think you go into the 144 different categories, and you really can get a lot of detail in your model, in your structure for as an educational outfitter. And I used to be, I guess still am, a history teacher. I use it to teach history. Just put up the tree on the transparency, and the students learn to use it. It really helps with critical thinking as well. You can learn to evaluate specific episodes in history, and then you have the students answer their questions, their essay questions, based on the tree. And what's great about it is really encourages critical thinking, because there really isn't any right or wrong answers. It's really a matter of how well you argue your answers. That's at least how I would be grading my history students, on how well they answer how much evidence they use to back up their answers, and how well they argue it. So it's it really teaches critical thinking, which is sorely lacking. A lot of history classes are just memorization. When I teach history, it's open book. If you don't have everything memorized, just look it up. I'm looking for you to be able to understand the concepts and the overall trajectory of history, not the minutia. So the tree is also an educational outfitter, in that it's a great foundation. It's a good place to start. All subjects and functions and all themes have their place on the tree. So, again, it's like any technology. It's crucial to kind of look at it as with a nonviolent intent, non-wasteful intentions. But absolutely, it can be used, and to great effect in all aspects of education, for the teacher and for the student. Again, students generally probably would need to be at least in middle school, but for the teacher, even an elementary teacher could use it to structure their class and structure their lessons. So again, I hope you can begin to see how the tree can be used as an educational outfitter, offering tools and resources at every stage of the educational process for all ages and all subjects. Please click the link below again if you'd like me to send you our free guide to the 144 fractal faculties or Stages of Life, Spirituality, History, and Cosmology annotated. And also hit the like, share, and subscribe button below. All right, thank you.